Tell us about your phone call that you got on December 23rd. Woo!
Yes. So after being a felon for 20 years, for doing my job, I was a Border Patrol agent in South Texas, Eagle Pass, Texas, the Badlands of Texas. 20 years ago, I pushed an illegal alien on the ground because he was not paying attention to task direction. I thought he was going to either jump the agent or make a run for it. So I knocked him on his ass, and apparently I violated his civil rights by doing so. So I got charged, tried, convicted, sentenced, and incarcerated for 2 years. And so I lived as a felon for 20 years. And 19 years, 11 months, and 7 days later, on December 23rd, 2020, last year, President Donald J. Trump signed my full and unconditional pardon.
2 years. 2 years. No, actually, this was 20 years ago. My incident happened 20 years ago. I was under investigation for 18 months. My incident happened January 2001. I was under investigation and taken to trial in October 2002. I was a Border Patrol agent, and I was chasing a group of illegal aliens that had entered the country illegally. It was 15 of them. Chased them for a mile and a half, yelling for them to stop in Spanish. Párense, párense, párense. They weren't stopping. A rookie agent and his partner rode up in the vehicle. The rookie agent jumped out, fresh pair of legs, caught the group, was trying to get them to sit down, but he didn't have the situation under control. So there were two illegals behind him, squatted down. I didn't know if they were going to jump the agent because he had his back turned to him. I didn't know if they were going to jump the agent or run away. So I ran up, put my hand on my weapon, and with the bottom of my foot, I said, siéntese, and I knocked them on their ass from the squatting to the sitting position, where apparently I violated their civil rights in doing so. So they charged me with 18 U.S.C. 242 subsection B, deprivation of rights under color of law, took me to trial in Austin, Texas, and somehow I got convicted. It was the Bush administration, yep, in 2001. So the ironic part is, in those 18 months, I never saw an investigator. Nobody ever asked me my side of the story. So the first time I ever told my side of the story was when I was at my trial, and I swore in, and my lawyer asked me what happened that day, because no investigator ever asked me that.
You don't know the rights that you have, and I lost my rights for 20 years, especially my Second Amendment rights, and y'all need to be grateful for what you have. You know, even if it's not your rights, the things that you do every day, wake up in the morning and thank the Lord for everything that you got. You know?
There's a veteran-owned company called Warfighter Tobacco. All right, and they're out of Nebraska, but they just moved to San Antonio a couple of years ago because everybody's moving to San Antonio, Military City. It's owned by a couple of 101st Airborne guys, and
Rendezvous with Destiny.
And yes, absolutely. And these here are called a Minuteman. It's a good little 20-minute smoke, right? It's a good little 20-minute smoke. They have other ones. They call this one the dumpster fire because when they're putting all their cigars together, they grab all the shavings, whatever was left, and they roll it. So it's got a little bit of everything. So it's dumpster fire. Yeah, it's a really good cigar.
And I sat there, enjoyed my cup of coffee, smoking my cigar. It was the best cup of coffee and the best cigar. And it was a beautiful day. And I was watching just people on a Sunday morning walking around Main Street in Bernie. And for the first time, I felt free. I mean, I had a feeling, a peace of mind that I hadn't had in 20 years. And it was pretty phenomenal. And like I said, I don't take anything for granted anymore. I don't take anything for granted anymore. My mom drives me crazy. I'm her caretaker, and she's dying of cancer and a little bit of dementia. She's 88 years old, and she drives me freaking nuts, but I'm enjoying every second that I have with her.
I think you will enjoy this one.
Thanks, dude.
That's a Minuteman.
All right.
And are you going to smoke it now? Are you going to save it?
I'm going to smoke it now.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll go ahead and cut it for you. I like the V cut. Gives a good deep cut. Lets you get some good smoke going in. Look at that.
All right.
And then I got a lighter for you, too. All right.
Tastes like victory.
It is, and they make it. Bro, I'm gonna give you this one too. This one here is called dumpster fire.
Yes, sir.
So they grab all the shavings together from when they roll all the tobacco.
Yes.
So no two batches are ever alike. It's whatever they have left, and then they throw it in the leaf.
Yes,
so that's
sir.
why it's called a dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire.
But it's a Warfighter tobacco.
Yeah, but it's usually those are usually very good.
They are really
I know
good.
some of the other companies and they do that very well.
They are really good. good.
And look, and one thing I want to say is this. And one thing I ran on is there was a lot of regulations against the cigar world, right? A lot of unsavory taxes, a lot of extra regulations. I was working with the executive director for the Cigar Rights of America,
Okay.
and to get rid of that. And Trump signed a document with a lot of other government officials,
Right.
and so this employs a lot of Latin families, and it's very intricate in the Latino culture, as you know. So I'm a lover of cigars.
Same here.
And we're brothers in arms, and we smoke
Absolutely.
cigars. And I'm happy that you gave me this.
Dude, you're really gonna enjoy that, man.
It's
I'm
a
telling
pleasure.
you.
Thank you, my
That's a good
brother.
cigar. Thank you,
I
man.
gotta get a hat like that too.
Dude, you're from Texas. You should have been born with
I
one.
know. I didn't wear my boots today.
Oh, dude, check out the boots. Hold on.
Oh, look at that. Hold on. Bam. Ooh, patriotic boots. Look at that. Look at that.
USA, baby.
The old Stars and Stripes, baby.
DB does a podcast.
I do a cigar smoking podcast
Nice.
called The Nightcap.
Okay, cool.
And I just talk about positive things and highlight great things people are doing. And I don't get overly defensive, but I get
Tastes like victory.
to talk about just positive things.
Absolutely.
I always want to shout out Pure Social. They've done right by me at the Amp Fest, gave me a nice interview, and I always support them. Roger Farina,
Right.
Pure Social.
I met him earlier, man. Pure Social is on my list right now.
Absolutely, and we need to stick together as patriots. We need to do what's right for our country, and we need to put our country back on the right track and get rid of the disease, which is all this nonsense that's being spread. We need to get rid of the disease of all these people that want to hurt our country, and some of these people are in office right now, and they're collecting a government check,
Right.
and they're enriching themselves. We need to stick together, and we need to do what's right for each other and for the United States of America.
I've said a bunch of times, like in Red Dawn, when the enemy comes parachuting in, people don't realize the freedom and liberties that they have in this country. I was a felon for 20 years. I lost all my rights for 20 years for doing my job. And President Donald Trump just gave me a pardon, gave me all my rights back.
Congratulations.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Congratulations.
But people don't realize how good they have it.
Yes.
And going back to Red Dawn, when the enemy comes and they're parachuting into, that's when we all need to stick together.
Absolutely.
And they don't realize that, everybody who's against each other right now, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, whoever it is, when the enemy comes to town, all we got is each other. We're as Americans.
We need to protect each other. We need to protect ourselves. We need to defend people who can't defend themselves.
Protect the weak, brother.
We need to get away from allowing these radical thinking people to think that they can push over us and hurt our people and set up
They
a
need to
bad
be crushed.
future for our children.
Exactly.
We cannot stand for that, and I will not stand by and allow this to happen on my watch. While I'm breathing, I will fight.
Agreed.
And trust me, we will succeed, and we will do it together.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
And
right.
it's people like you and myself that are out there that are going to do it on the front line. But, a lot of people are afraid because you know what? Like they said earlier, all this free stuff that's out there that they're giving away, somebody got to pay for it, and that's us. We're the working class. We're the ones that do things right. We're the ones that follow the law. So when is the time?
The time is now.
The time is now.
The time is now. Act now. Don't stand on the sidelines and get involved. Join the fight. Join the good fight.
Absolutely.
Do what's right. Work for each other. And there's only one race, and it's the human race. And we need humanity, and we need love at a high level.
Amen. Amen. United together, brother.
It's my honor.
The pleasure's all mine. Believe
My
me.
brother.
Honor first, brother. Thank you. There was a group of narcotics that we jumped 6 weeks after this incident, and I got into a fight with a narcotics smuggler, and he body slammed me on the ground, and he was choking me out, and he ended up going to prison. They brought him out of prison to testify against me, and had nothing to do with the case. And they spent 4 days out of a 5-day trial talking about that case, and somehow I got convicted. And I did.
What was it like being a Border Patrol agent in prison?
Ooh. So that was kind of rough because when I first got brought in, the first thing the Bureau of Prisons told me is, you're not a Border Patrol agent anymore. Your name's not Agent Brugman, it's Inmate Brugman. So that right there was a big dump on me. And to the prison guards, I was a criminal, and to the criminals, I was a federal agent. So I was kind of caught in the middle, and I had to watch my back all the time. I got jumped in one of the prison prisons I was at. I got sent to a high security prison, the penitentiary in Atlanta, Georgia, and then I was there for 4.5 months, and then I got sent to the medium in Yazoo City, Mississippi. So in 2 years, I went to 5 different prisons, and I was in solitary a total of 10.5 months. Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. Whenever they transferred me, they would give you this thing called diesel therapy, where they handcuff you, chain you to your waist, and then put shackles on your ankles, put you on a bus, and travel you everywhere across the United States. I started in Florida. They fly me or drive me down to Fort Lauderdale, take me back up to Atlanta, take me to Pensacola, all around the place, and I'd end up at the same place where I was at. So they were wearing you down. And when you transferred, it was like 2 weeks of transportation, just so they can wear you down and break you. So I mean, prison. I spent a lot of nights crying in prison because, you know, I did 9 years in the Coast Guard, went straight into the Border Patrol, and I'm still trying to figure out what I did wrong, where the government feels that they had to put me in a place where I had to watch men having sex with other men. You know, so I didn't get it. So I spent a lot of nights with my face buried in the pillow, crying myself to sleep. Hello, Miss Mindy.
How you doing?
She's doing a movie on the Coast Guard.
What kind of movie you making?
He was in the Coast Guard 9 years.
Okay, now I'll probably need your input. So I realized that there's hero movies for every branch of the military, except I think the Coast Guard has been neglected. So I think it'd be fun to do a hero movie.
Well, you know, the only movie that the Coast Guard has is The Guardian, and it's about rescue swimmers, and the rescue swimmers, even in the Coast Guard, are the golden childs.
I think we got to do straight one on the Coast Guard.
Well, I was a bosun's man. I did a lot of law enforcement, a lot of rescues. So, you know, if you need me, you got my number.
All right, I like it. We'll make this happen.
I know. I still know a lot of
Unsung
people
heroes.
in the Coast Guard as well. So.
Yeah. They see a lot of action people don't really appreciate.
USCG.
I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna have to be in it now.
I'm in.
You're gonna have to shave.
Semper Patronus.
I'm shaved. Semper Piranhas.
Semper Patronus.
Piranhas. All right, dear.
Okay.
So, yeah, man. So, I mean, and after 20 years, I finally got my rights back, and it's been an amazing feeling because people don't know what the rights that they have. You know?
Just simply go vote again.
Yes, I wish I would have got my pardon a month earlier, because then I could have voted for our president, but I didn't, so I couldn't vote.
When was the first time that it like kind of hit you that you were free?
Like 3 weeks later, because my phone got blown up. I got over 3,000 phone calls. I got calls from agents that I didn't even, Border Patrol agents that I knew, and many that I didn't even know. And it was just so overwhelming. And about 3 weeks later, it was a Sunday, I came out of church, down in Cornerstone Church in San Antonio, and everything was different. So I jumped in my truck, took a drive out to Pardonee, Texas, to Black Rifle Coffee, got myself a cup of coffee, had myself a Warfighter cigar, and I sat there.
Dumpster fire?
No, I had a Sumatra at that time, 7.62 fuel.
I tell you what,
machine we can to eradicate that.
when I got my pardon on Christmas Eve, it was Christmas Eve, it was the 23rd. From that, and that was a Wednesday, from that Wednesday until probably the following week, I got over 3,000 phone calls. I got phone calls from Border Patrol agents I didn't even know that had been in the Border Patrol 10, 15 years. Because remember, my incident was 20 years ago. They're like, dude, I've been in the patrol for 15 years, and when I went through the academy, so-and-so was my instructor, and you worked with him here. And I had guys that even called me and said, "You're the reason I joined the Border Patrol." You know, so I mean, it was very inspiring. I got calls from people that I hadn't heard of in years. I got a call from Kid Rock. Yeah, I got a call from Kid Rock thanking me for congratulating me on my pardon.
So you're getting ready for Christmas,
Right.
and you get this phone call. Who calls you? And like, were you? Did you think it was serious or what? What was?
Well, I had been pushing my pardon hard for a long time, and since President Trump was in, I've started the podcast. I've been in contact with a lot of people, Sarah Carter, Laura Ingraham, a lot of people that I knew had access to the president. So in the back of my mind, I kind of knew I was on the short list, but nothing's guaranteed. You know, so I didn't know, and I was having a bad Christmas because I didn't want to go through another Christmas again, being a felon. So I'm having a hard time, and then all of a sudden my phone rings, and it's the White House. It wasn't the president, but it was the White House, and they wanted to congratulate me on a full and unconditional unconditional pardon that the president had just signed an hour and a half earlier. And I said, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And they're like, "No, sir, this is not a joke." And I started crying. I started crying like a baby as they read the press release. You know, so they read the press release, and the whole time they're reading, I'm crying like a baby. And and then a phone call started coming in, and for the first time in 20 years, I felt free. I was watching people walking back and forth, and it was just, it's like I was born free. It's a feeling, a peace of mind that I haven't had in 20 years. And it was amazing. It was amazing, bro. Hey, I'd do it again if they let me. I'd leave tomorrow.
So grab your coffee cup. Let's see the coffee cup that's in the door with the logo on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Gary Brugman Podcast. I got my own little podcast, and you can find it wherever podcasts are found. And it's on my YouTube channel as well, Gary Brugman Podcast.